Okay. Thank you for the privilege to be here once again. It's going to be a very great time, and it's going to be a time of also learning and activation. Not activation in the spirit necessarily, but an awakening to what leadership from identity is about. Please confirm if you can hear me very clearly.
It's very clear, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So I woke up this morning with a thought in my mind. I don't know why. And I posted along that line this morning, and I've received several feedbacks from that particular post. So what was the thought I woke up with? Lion, no the born goat. But the picking of a lion fit live like a goat. That is, a lion can't give birth to a goat. But despite that a lion cannot give birth to a goat, a lion gives birth to a lion. The child of a lion that is a cub can live like a goat. And the reason for this is when there is no awareness. So usually when it comes to the issue of leading from identity, the issue here is not about leadership, so to say. It's about awareness and living from awareness. For instance, when I said that the child of a lion that is a cub can live like a goat because doesn't know who he the cub doesn't know who he is, and this can be either male or female, right? So the issue here is not even about identity, all right? It's about awareness. It's about living from recognition. It's about living from understanding. That's where the major issue is, because though a lion is born a lion, that's who it is. That is what it is, right? But when you don't know who you are, then you begin to malfunction. You begin to live less than you were created and ordained to. You begin to underperform, right? And this is one of the things that leads to frustration in people's lives generally. So if a lion, for instance, give birth to a cub that grew up among goats, the environment is grew up in, it ate what goats ate, moved where goats moved to, ran with goats, played with goats, of course, that is a conditioning already, all right? Sorry, please excuse me. So that is a recondition, all right? So, but the moment another lion maybe comes to that environment, of course, when other animals see a lion, what do? They always run away. You can't stand it. You have to run, right? So when they run away, and the lion, that baby lion too, also runs with them because they don't know who it is. But if that lion rescues the other baby lion from that place and shows it, maybe takes it to a mirror or to a sea and shows it who it is. So what happens? Yoruba will say, Oyemashi. That is, its mind will open and be like, oh no, what have I been doing? Who have I been moving with? What have I been doing all my life? All right. And that's automatically put it in a place of, you won't be able to mingle with goat again. Because ideally, they're supposed to fear you. Ideally, they're supposed to respect you. Ideally, they're supposed to um be afraid necessarily, because a lion commands presence. There's a aura, there's a fear, there's an atmosphere that they carry around, right? So, and they're not the king of the Jew because they're necessarily the best. I just feel that it's just a gift that God gave them. So, though it was a lion, but it has been living like a goat. And the moment it realizes that this is who I am, wow, the change, that's the beginning of the change for the cub, right? So there are many people like that, in terms of there's potential there's capacity by potential, and there's capacity by manifestation, right? So, and for you to come into your capacity, to your full capacity, you have to move from potential to developing it. So somebody can have the capacity to lead, all right? Everyone has a capacity to lead, but not everybody leads correctly. Not everybody leads rightly because they've not learned to develop it. They've not learned to cultivate it, right? So though the potential is there, though the capacity is inherent within them, but because maybe they've not cultivated it, or they've been exposed to the right environment, then they of course what they do would definitely be, if you're exposed to the wrong environment, definitely what they do will definitely be also wrong. So leadership will be distorted, because a dead end cannot what? Hatch a living chicken. All right. So a leader that is disconnected from their identity will definitely produce misalignment. So when a leader does not know who he or she is, they'll definitely produce misalignment. They won't be able to lead from place of alignment. So the issue is not, like I said before, identity, or the identity is not lost. The identity is not missing. It is just there. But for you to be able to, what is needed for you to come into leadership by identity is awareness from revelation, coming to know who you are. I'm going to get there. Awareness from revelation, then acceptance. Because that's one of the things that, as a coach, I've been privileged to coach several people across several timelines over the years. And one of the things I've seen people struggle with is when they begin to become aware of who they are, of what they can do, what they are capable of. One of the major struggle is, that acceptance, right? Because sometimes, because you have been used to a particular way, someone might struggle to accepting and living a different life. So it takes intentionality to, though you used to be like this before, so when you begin to become aware by revelation that this is who I am, then the next thing is to accept it, accept your identity, accept who you are, right? You were mentioning about people who like, they are controlling. So people feel that, oh, they can't lead. So people feel that, oh, leadership is not for me. Let me just be behind. It's a mindset. And that mindset, it didn't just jump on them. They saw it somewhere. Something must have communicated it to them. I always tell my clients this, my community this. Anything that you are doing today, it's a possibility that was shown to you over time. Whatever you believe about life, about leadership today, is because that's what has been communicated to you. So if you grew up in an environment where people don't take responsibility, people are like Adeleke, they are careless, that's how you're going to live your life. So when you see leadership, oh, be like, oh, I just want to be behind. I just want to be behind the scene. I don't want to be known. I want to be nameless and faceless. Those things are not random. They were conditionings that was imparted into a person, right? So, but the moment you now begin to see who you are, the moment you now begin to know who you are, you begin to understand who you are, it's not that you begin to now accept it first. So after accepting it, the next thing is to, be aligned, alignment. Ensure that your behavior now, your actions now, tallies with what you have seen, tallies with the new revelation that you have about yourself. And these were many people, like I said, aside from acceptance, these are now another place where people struggle. So they begin to see who they are now, so but they are struggling. Sometimes because they don't want people to be offended. They've known them to be a certain way. So when they begin to have new revelation, new knowledge, they have new exposures. So it's that switch. They just try to, let me not overdo, let me not pass my boundary, let me not, whatever reasons why people remain like that. So there has to be alignment. So when there is no alignment with your new revelation, your new understanding about your identity, the person is still going to struggle and lead from misalignment. So this is a very important foundation for the conversation we're going to be having tonight. So when people are quick to fix their finance, they're just thinking about how to make money. They think everything about money. They're quick to fix their relationships, fix their face. Some fix their face. They like their appearance. Some people fix their habits. Some people fix different things. But one important area that people don't fix, or they are slow to fix, is their identity. And the truth is, your identity is the core of your life. It's the operating system. What you believe about yourself, like Annie was saying when she started, is very paramount. It is reflected in everything, your leadership inclusive. So what you believe, how you think about yourself, is going to be reflected in how you lead yourself first, before even how you lead others. How you see yourself is seen. It's not by what you say. I mean, people say a lot of things, but when you juxtapose it with their realities, with their results, with what they do, with their life, there is no correlation. So it's not just about what you say. People say many things. I'm a success. You might mean I'm a success, but only thing we're seeing doesn't look like success, right? So because this thing is I call it the invisible that controls the visible. though you cannot see identity, right? But it influences everything. Marriage, finance, career, leadership, everything. It influences everything. And that's why if you are passionate about being a leader, you're a leader, maybe you're a leader here, or you are passionate or interested in leadership, you have to pay attention to this. Very, very important. So don't trivialize it, because it's a very big deal. So what does it then mean to lead from identity? Simply, it is leading from the truth of who you really are. Not from pressure, not from performance, pretense, trying to fit into a box or whatever. It is leading from your authenticity. It is leading from your true self. It is leading from who you are. A right sense of what? A right sense of self. That is what leading from identity is. And um, it also means that your leadership is an overflow and not a performance. It's an overflow of your life. It's an overflow of how you see yourself. It's an overflow of your self-perception, first of all. So your leadership is what? An overflow. Then secondly, you don't lead for validation. You lead from conviction of who you are. This is why, as I remember when I first of all, when people started coming to me for mentorship, that's more than 12 years ago, I always wondered that why people coming to me, because I felt, what do I know? I'm a small girl. This, that. I always have excuses and reasons to not, pour out into people as I then. But I just realized that the reason why I am thinking like this or behaving like this is because there is something faulty about how I see myself, right? And because of that, I could not give my best to those people at that time. So I now began to unlearn. I began to go to journey of healing. I began to go to journey of identity recovery. All right. And when that shift happened, I was able to lead people. As a disciplined person, I cannot ask for discipline. I can compel discipline, because that is first of all what I am and what I do. Right? I'm a disciplined person. So you don't lead for validation, you lead from conviction of your identity, of who you are. So you won't be able to then I used to be very careful with people. Though of course I'm still careful with people, but not from a place of let me not talk, I don't know how they will see it, maybe my opinion will not count, or whatever. I'm confident to lead today because I went through a journey of identity recovery. So when you don't have a conviction, when you don't know who you are, you will not be be I don't know what I'm trying to say. You won't be confident, right? So
I think there is a network glitch from our speaker's end. Let's wait for like some few
the
seconds.
answers who you are. I've said
Okay,
this
your
very
network
time.
glitch. Yes,
Can
we
you hear
can
me
hear you
now?
now.
Okay. Please confirm if you can still hear me again.
Yes, you can. You are heard now.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, your identity is simply answers to who you are, and who you are is not found from books. It's good to read. I recommend books to people, right? It's from a revelation, because an invention cannot know its intention, what it's intended to do, or who it's intended to become, without asking the creator. It is the inventor that gives purpose to the invention. And that's why, for you to know who you are, for you to know your true identity, you will seek your creator, the one that knows you, the one that birthed you, the one that sent you on this earth for a reason. So you can't know it just by yourself. All right. You can't just wake up and yes, there's a place of I know as a coach, we tell people what are your gifts, what are you passionate about, what are you driven about. Those things are good, right? But your true identity comes from knowing or fellowshipping with the one who created you. He's one that shows you who you are, right? So that's that. Then why are you here? That's the question of purpose. What are you here to do? All right. When you understand that, oh, for instance, for me, I'm a people builder. I'm passionate about helping people becoming better, helping people to transform from 0 to 100, helping people to express their fullest potential, helping people to live and die empty. All right. That's one of the things I'm passionate about. So that's why I'm here. I'm a people builder. Right. Then, how are you designed to function? These are questions you must ask for you to know your identity. All right. So if these are clear, then your leadership becomes no. If this is not clear, your leadership becomes imitation. You begin to copy everybody. There will be competition. You will be fighting for space. You will not be able to. When somebody is doing well in your team, for instance, you want to shut them down. You want to dim their light. You want to silence them. There will be no competition, right? Because you are okay. You are living from a place of wholeness, from a place of identity. I know who I am. So you are okay. You are complete, right? When you know who you are. So if your identity is not also clear, you'll be leading from performance, trying to please people, being a people pleaser, and all that. You'll be leading from performance. So what you are doing, your results will be validating you. So you are not doing so much. You feel less of yourself. You want to be doing things to make people see you as a champion, this, that. All right. You also lead from exhaustion because you'll be tired. Today you are copying this, tomorrow you are that. There's no stability. Person will be exhausted, right? So that's why it's very important that we must know who you are. So why leaders lead out of alignment? So why do leaders lead out of alignment? Misalignment does not start on the outside, it starts within. Like I said, identity is that invisible part of us that controls what people see, that controls the visible. So it starts from within you, it starts from your identity understanding. So what are the types of identity that people lead from? There are several kinds of examples of identity that people lead from. One, borrowed identity. This set of people, they don't, they are copycats. All right. They lead from what they saw or what they have seen. Whether it is right or wrong, they just copy. Oh, my mentors, these people, you already see them say that, oh, my mentor said this, my pastor said, this person said, my boss said. They always is borrowed identity. They don't have a clear sense of direction. They don't have a clear sense of action. It is borrowed. All right. So they always be like, oh, since my daddy did it this way, my daddy does like this. This is how my daddy led the family. That's part of it too. This is how my daddy led us, led my mom, led this. This is how my pastor. So whether it is right or wrong, they don't care. They just follow everything, hook, line, and sinker. These are people leading from borrowed identity. And the result of this is going to be, of course, comparison, pressure, and less of authenticity. Because of time, I'll just run through the other examples of identity that people lead from also. Second identity is wounded identity. These are the people that are leading from pain and not purpose. All right. These kind of people, they are leading from pain and not purpose. All right. Have you seen people that if you correct them, for instance, they see it as an attack. If you give suggestions, they will not listen. They don't take suggestions from their team, from their members, from their followers. All right. They want to be the alpha and omega. So they are leading from a place of pain. They're leading from a place of pain, not from purpose. All right. So when you disagree with them, hey, it will look like you're fighting. It will look like war. It's not that. These things are pointers. They are signals that there's need for healing. Right? They are signals that there is need for healing. So these are people leading from wounded identity. So because they have experienced rejection, then they will be controlling in their leadership. So because they have experienced insecurity or they have insecurity, they are usually very proud. Their say is the final say. They don't listen to other people. They make people feel less of themselves. All right. For those who struggle with fear, for instance, they micromanage. So the result of this is that they're needing to compensate what they lost, what they didn't have, rather than to contribute to the lives of people. Then the third one is unformed identity. These ones don't even have a clue what they are here for. You don't know anything about who they are. They don't know who they are at all. That's why it is called unformed identity. They don't even know at all. All right. They've not done the work to discover themselves, to know why they are here, to know their purpose, and all of that. So and when this is there, there will be no clarity, they'll be easily influenced, tossed to and fro, no clear direction. And the result of this will be what? Inconsistency and confusion. They will transfer this to those that they are leading. All right. Then the fourth example of identity that people lead from is performance-based identity. These are the ones that the identity is tied to their result. All right, it's tied to what they do and not who they are. So the identity is tied to what they do and not who they are. So you always be as a follower or as a team member. You always be on your toes, being around these people, trying to do something so that they can endorse you, so they can validate you. So they validate you based on what you do and not based on who you are. Do you see that? So they feel that they must achieve something. They feel like you two must achieve something. They're always giving you, this is so stressful, man. So, and when these people, when they're not doing so much, when they're not, when they don't have so much result to speak, maybe during a period of time, they feel less of themselves. They withdraw. They shrink. They feel like they are nothing. So these kind of people, they are leading from performance-based identity. And the result is that, of course, there will be burnouts because you will work and tire. There will be burnout. There will be anxiety because there will be fear. All right. There will be unstable leadership. Also, every time. Work, you know, honey. So, and the final, which is the one we're supposed to be leading from, is authentic leadership. This is what produces transformative leadership. So these kind of leaders, they have a correct sense of self, a correct sense of perception. They know who they are. They have a healthy sense of who they are. So as a result of this, that there will be clarity. All right, there will be growth visible in the lives of those that they are leading. There will be growth. There will be transformation. People will thrive. They'll be able to thrive under them. All right, there will be stability. So you cannot consistently act against who you are. Who you truly believe you are is seen in your leadership. Your leadership will always reflect this. So always reflect your identity. So because confused leaders will raise confused team members or followers. Broken leaders will raise broken people. Authentic leader will raise people that can give expression to who they are. All right. Secure leader will raise secure people. All right. And so on and so forth. So leadership is reproductive. You are reproducing who you are in people. So it's just like when you have you are pouring from a cup, for instance. If what is inside the cup is bitter and you are pouring it into different glasses, what will happen? Even if the glasses you are pouring into, they are very nice glasses, very fine glasses, but what you are pouring, so you are a glass, you have something inside of you, and you are pouring what you have inside different glasses. So that's what I said. Broken people will do what? Raise broken people. Authentic people will what? Raise authentic people. Secure people will what? Raise secure people. And so on and so forth. Because you cannot give what you don't have. So how then can you lead from identity? Number one is personal clarity. Get to understand who you are, get to know who you are. Like I said, it stems first of all from revelation, then acceptance of who you are. When you begin to discover, when you begin to uncover, all right, what you are here for, who you are called to be okay with it. All right, be okay with being you, accept it, align with it. All right, very, very important. So you can also ask yourself, what am I sent here to do? What are the things I'm passionate about? What problems am I sent to solve? Because sometimes we wonder, why do certain people keep coming to me? It's because it's a pointer to maybe what you are meant to solve, a problem you are meant to solve. So ask yourself, what are the problems what am I wired to do? So these are the ways these are the reflective questions you can ask yourself to also understand who you are. So the second thing is self-leadership. This one is very paramount. Like I said, leadership begins with you, all right? And how you see yourself affects how you lead yourself and then how you lead others. But leadership primarily begins with you, all right? It starts with your habits, your consistency, your private standards before your public actions or paparazzi. It's your private standard first. It begins with you. So if you cannot lead yourself, how will you lead others? I've seen this in different people. I once worked with someone, who wanted everything, visibility, impact, wanted to live a life of impact, want to lead others and all of that. But this person, wake up time, you see they struggle to wake up as when you're supposed to wake up. Sticking to your decisions, you still struggle to it. You say you do this one, you will not do it. Every time you'll be breaking promises to yourself. Then how will you be able to hold people accountable? How will you be able to hold people to do the things they are supposed to do when you yourself, you still struggle with it? Do you see that? So self-leadership is very paramount. When it comes to leading from identity, it's very paramount. So when you see yourself that, oh my, I'm a person of my word, right? Then you'll be able to hold yourself to do what you are supposed to do. But the more you keep just breaking promises, the more you keep living anyhow. Anyhow leaders will raise anyhow people. You live anyhow, then you expect to raise people to live orderly. It's not possible. It begins with how you see yourself. It begins with you. So leadership begins with you. Are you consistent? Are you focused? It begins with you. And the truth is, this girl, she has not changed to today. Because sometimes you think your problem is that you fast and pray, lay hands on you and all that. But sometimes it's not fasting and prayer alone for believers. You have to take responsibility for your life. You have to be intentional about yourself. And I've seen this affect several leaders. You what you are telling your people to do, you are not doing it. Tell them to do something, but you yourself are not doing what you are telling them to do. They will not listen. You just find out that they are not listening. You will just be angry every time, offended. There will be strife, keeping palace with your team members or your followers. Because what you are telling them to, they're not doing it. You always check what is the reason for this. Don't just always put the blame on other people. Why is it that everybody have always led? They always are always like this. Ask yourself. And I told her the simple truth, all right? Though you have your problem is not capacity. Your problem is simply your refusal to what? Lead yourself. And many people don't like to hear that. They prefer, I don't know, they like you to give them steps A, B, C, D. But this is where the result is. This is where the result is going to come from. Leading yourself. That's where it is. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So leadership is not something like just switch in public. There is a smell to this. There is an aroma. There is a what's the word? I don't know the word to use. It is what you practice in private that you definitely see in public. So the third thing that you must pay attention to for you to lead from identity is your inner work, and that's healing. Healing is something I always tell my community and coaching clients that healing is not a one-off thing. It's not a one-time event. It's a continual thing that you must embrace as a person, because the truth is many things come to tamper with our identity at different times. Someone can say something to you and it just distorts, or you just begin to doubt yourself. You begin to see yourself in a different light. So you must embrace healing. It must be a continual thing. You must embrace healing. If you're going to continually lead from authenticity, if you're going to continually lead from your identity, healing must be a continual part. Something might happen to you. You might even be leading somebody and maybe you made a mistake. And because of that, you now begin to see yourself as something else. You must heal and recover from it. You must heal and recover from it. So healing is very important if you're going to lead from identity. So you must heal rejection. You must deal with limiting beliefs. All right. And you must confront your insecurity so you can raise healthy, whole, thriving team members and individuals. All right. So because what you don't heal from, you will definitely transfer. Then the fourth thing is alignment. I've said this before. Your words, your actions must align with who you claim to be. Your words, your habits, your actions, your decisions, they must agree. All right, they must agree. And this is where authority to lead comes from. When there is that alignment, there will be that. That's where the authority comes from. All right. Then the final thing is authentic expression. So stop shrinking. Be yourself. When you know who you are, don't try to be less of yourself. Don't try to fit into a box. Don't try to maintain people's insecurity or try to pacify people's emotion. You know the right thing to do. You know this thing is going to work. Maybe you've given yourself to you went for leadership training and you got a new insight or better insight on how to do things. And maybe you come to your team and some people have some work mentality. Don't try to please them, and because of that, you're not living authentically. Just be yourself. Don't shrink, right? Stop copying. Stop copying. All right. Don't copy blindly. Those are the people that lead broad identity. They just copy everything blindly. They lead blindly by copying blindly what different people are doing. So don't copy blindly. So be yourself, authentically what express yourself. So in conclusion, leadership is not what you do in public, like I've said. It begins with who you have become in private. And leadership was never meant to be your place of validation, right? It is your place of expression. You are giving expression to who you are. And in that way, as you lead from that place of expression, you are what? Empowering others to also do the same. You are giving power to others to be. You are giving people the liberty. You are showing people possibility of what is possible and empowering them, strengthening them to also do the same. All right. So if your identity is whole, then your leadership will definitely be transformative. So you cannot give what you don't have. I've said that also before. So it's just like if I give you a bag of oranges, it's because I first of all had a bag of oranges, because I first had oranges. That's why I can give you oranges. If I give you money, it's because I first had money. If I give you value, it's because I am first a person of value. So you can't give what you don't have. All right. If I give you confusion, if I give you fear, if I give you insecurity, that's because that's what the leader has. So leadership is simply giving. You are giving daily. In everything, you are giving. All right. You are giving daily. Giving to yourself and giving to others. You are giving daily. You are giving consistently. You are giving unavoidably. Leadership is giving. So before you focus on what you are building, or the team that you are building, or the organization that you are building, or the nation that you are building, first of all, focus on who you are. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? All right. Before focusing on what I'm building, the business, the team members, the people, your mentees, all of that. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Before what am I building? That's what will make what you are building to last. That's what will make what you are building to be transformative. You know, Ms. Kenny was talking about our leaders in Nigeria. Nations that have correct leaders, you will see the impact in the nation generally. So I say that broken leaders do what? They don't just raise broken people. They increase and multiply broken systems. So that is, leadership does not end, it doesn't end with you. Leadership does not end with you. It doesn't end with you. It might start with you, but it doesn't end with you. Self leadership starts with you, but it doesn't end with you. You are passing it down to other people. So when you're a corrupt leader, you do what? You raise a corrupt nation. You raise a corrupt people. Do you see that? So it begins with us. It is first of all about who you are becoming before what you are building. And this is very, very important. So because buildings does not transform nation, it is the people that transform nation. It is the people. Transformed people transform the nation. Transformed people transform their teams. Healthy people raise healthy systems, build healthy organizations, build healthy families, build healthy societies. It begins with us. And people are shaped by leaders who are shaped by identity. So who are you? What identity are you living from? And this is where I'm going to be dropping the mic tonight. Thank you once again for having me in this session. I believe that you've learned a lot. So like she said, there's going to be question and answers. So I'm looking forward to taking our feedback. Thank you, Miss Kenny, for the privilege to be a blessing tonight. I sincerely appreciate it. Over to you, ma.
Wow, thank you so much. It's been an amazing session, and I am sure that we all agree with that. I've learned so much. I've just been writing. Consider my head has been down all through, just writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And amazingly, some of the things that she said are things that I'm going to thief and put inside my book. In my next book, I'll give credit. Don't worry. All right. Like, I think for me, one of the things that I learned, this is the first time I'm realizing that we have different types of identity. I just know that okay, we have identity. If you know yourself, you don't know yourself. If you know yourself, you if you don't know yourself, that's identity. But today I learned that we have different types of identity, and it's been such an eye-opening session tonight. And I want to really celebrate Coach D for. I mentioned earlier that this is a niche, which is a mindset shifter. Your mindset will shift. Your mindset will align. You either fall into alignment or you fall into alignment. All right. So we're going to be taking questions now. I have some questions here, but I want to open the floor for us. If you have questions, you can either use the raise up of hand button, or write your questions in the call in the comment section. You can either raise your hand or write in the comment section. But while we wait for that, I'm going to be asking some questions. So first of all, I want to ask, you've talked about different kinds of identity, right? So how can someone recognize that they are leading from the wrong identity? Because some people are leading, and to them, they are so sure, they're so confident that the way they are leading is the right way. It's not like they are bad people, but they just know better. I am an example of that. I have had the experience where I was leading, and I felt like this pattern of leadership is the best, because you mentioned how that you can copy pattern, you can borrow patterns. To me, I felt like that was the right way to do it, until I eventually got to a process where I was my healing journey and my eyes opened. So for people like that, and the funny part is that they're always stubborn with it, because if you tell them you are wrong, they'll be like, no, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it was passed down to me. So how can we recognize that we are leading from the wrong identity? Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much for the question. One of the most important thing I think that can happen to a person, regardless of your limitations, or let me just leave that as limitations, is exposures. This is one of the most underrated ways that people can become better or become more. Let me give an example. For someone who is in a village and grew up in the village, everything that you see around you looks like that's a normal way of life, right? Or if, let me use this example. There was someone who came to visit us some time back, and this person has been used to bathing from buckets. That is, how they do it. Go to well, fetch water, pour outside bucket, and all of that. This person is used to bathing from buckets. So when the person came to the house, I just noticed that every time the person wants to take a bath, I don't hear the shower. Like, I don't hear the shower. I'm always hearing pa, pa, pa. So I just asked the person I wanted, what's the issue? don't you, why don't you use the shower? And he said she's used to bathing from buckets. Do you see that? So I had to tell the person that actually is even easier using the shower, because you just stand and with something's pouring. But the person likes to bend, standing and bending and standing and picking up, bending and standing. That's exposure. So many times, the reason people, like you said, the reason people don't change or they struggle and stay fixed in a particular identity is not because sometimes they might not know the right thing. Is humility. Becoming a better person does not start by knowing better. It starts by being humble. Because some people know better, but they are too proud. Their ego will hinder them from implementing. That's why I said that when you have revelation, or when you come into awareness that, oh, this is a better way to do this, you must accept it, then align with it. So the first people, don't feel that everything I know is the alpha and omega. Have an open mind for learning. Have an open heart to learn. Seek to learn. Intentionally seek to learn. That's when you become that's how your mind will also become more. That's how you shift in your mind. So intentionally seek exposure. That's a simple. Someone that has been used to using firewood in the village that travels to the city and sees that we can use gas and it's faster. So it will be pride for you to say you want to continue using firewood when you can use gas. That is easier, stressless, faster. There's no smoke, you are choking and you are coughing and all of that. So that's it. Seeking exposure and having an open heart to learn. That's my recommendation for such people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma. Having an open mind. I think I can actually relate to that. Now I mentioned earlier, I have a personal experience with this, and you know, it the fact that people pointed my attention to certain things, and I could I could bet my life on the fact that what I'm doing is correct. Though my art was good. I had good intention, but how was just the was just the problem, and that came from an identity that I had that had been built from environment, the things that I have heard, and so on and so forth. So I was really, you can be very stubborn with the things that we have known, and letting it go can be quite hard. It is scary that what I've known all my life what is wrong, and I have to start again from the beginning. But it's never too late to start again, and it's not wrong to admit that you're wrong and to start again. So I'm glad about this. Clap for me. I'm glad about my own journey. Thank you. Please, if you have questions, you're supposed to have questions. So if you have questions, please kindly send them to the chat box. All right. I'm going to be asking another question. I'm going to be asking in two. There is going to be a question with A and B. All right. So is it possible to lead people beyond the level of your self-belief? What you believe, the things that you believe in. How do I shape this? But like you go, I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, I get the question.
All right. And from this self-belief that you have, that you're leading people from, is it possible to destroy people's potentials, the potentials in others without realizing it because of your self-belief? Thank you.
Wow. This is a very touching and very painful question because, like I said initially, when I started my leadership journey, there were people who came around me at the time, more than 12 years ago, that I wish I had done better with because I didn't know so much and I was broken at that time. I was still trying to find myself and all of that. And I saw how that not knowing so much sort of affected those people's lives. So the truth is, yes, your belief system can be the limit of people. So what usually happens for those who do better under, you might have certain kind of leaders, all right? People who will do exceptionally well under leaders that has limited belief. You will always find out that there's another place where they are feeding from. For instance, as a Christian, there were some place of worship that I've been to, or what's the word? That I've attended. And I knew that if I'm going to become great in life, I can't just be listening to what I'm seeing, to what I'm hearing here alone. I won't go far. So that way, for me to be able to go far, I have to outsource what I need. I have to search for what I need. So you can't lead people beyond your level of mindset, beyond level of your mindset will be that limitation. I posted something yesterday. Before you check, even for a partner, it's not just about even people alone. Leadership is in different areas. As a father to a child, as a pastor to your members, as an head of organization or as a leader in an organization to your team members, they will always fall, even if they have potential, they will always shrink to the level of your beliefs and your mindset because people who have the mind of, oh, we can do this, we can get these results, and you as a leader, you're always thinking that, how are we going to do this thing? We will not survive, we will not do well. You will realize that those people except if, like I said, they are outsourcing their motivation, their mindset, belief, and I said they're outsourcing that, they will always shrink. Though they have the capacity to do more, but they always fall back to the level of the leader. That's it. And it's a very painful and sad reality. I said something when I was talking, that a dead chicken, I mean a dead hen, cannot what hatch a living chicken. It's gonna die. So that's why if you are going to lead, you have to be flexible. You have to be intentional about seeking for growth. You have to be intentional about learning. You have to pay for these things. There's some things that you will not know until you enter some circles, you enter some communities. You now begin to find out that, wait a minute, what have I been doing all my life? What have I been hearing? What have I been leading people on? So you have to be intentional about it. So I must always admit that all I know now is not all that there is to know. I always say this: what you don't know is greater than you, and what you don't know is a lot more. The more you go in life, the more you see that you don't know so much, and you must be able to accept that. That's how we can raise mighty people. So yes, the exploits of a follower will always be limited by or shrink to the level of the mindset of the leader. That's why it matters who you submit to. It matters who you follow. It matters who you listen to. It matters who is your leader. So that's it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, man. Wow. This can be celebrate Coach D. Like she's busting my brain. Tonight is please let's clock it. All right, I'm asking one more question from my one or two. One, okay, let me ask one question more from my end. And this is a personal question from I'm going to asking you a personal question. So for you personally, what what shifted for you in your understanding of your identity and leadership? How did that process take place where you shifted in the understanding of your identity and how it's spilled over into your leadership? Thank you.
Thank you for this question. I've been saying it that my life really began less than 7 years ago. All right. And truthfully speaking, my shift began when I registered for a course by one of my favorite mentors. So that's when the shift really began. All right. Because I just noticed that, like I said, I used to be a people pleaser. Oh my God, I've seen Shege in this life actually. So, but people used to take me for granted, take advantage of me, look down on me. And that's because I look down on myself. Many things contributed to that. So, but let's just leave it at that. So, but I just knew that I don't think I want to continue living like this. I don't like the way this thing keeps affecting me, keeps running my life and all of that. So how can I become better? Who am I? Who is Debbie self? So that's funny enough, the course I took, I've always had access to, even sometimes access to some free courses from that person, but I never took it serious. I never paid attention to it. It didn't really strike any chord until that particular year. I said, I want to, let me just even listen to this person. Let me even pay for this. And I paid for it. If I'm even correct, I think it was Olamide that paid for that course for me. All right. I paid for that course, and that was what shifted this for me. It was as if I just understood me that, wait, this is why I am like this. That's why knowledge is very powerful. Knowledge is important. Seek for knowledge. Seek for the right knowledge. Knowledge is powerful. Hey, knowledge is very powerful. Oh, knowledge is very powerful. That knowledge was what made me to realize that, oh, this is how I am. This is why I've been living this way. This is how I'm like this, and it just realigned everything for me. So it was a particular course by my mentor that shifted me just everything for me. Then secondly is I began to have a different relationship with scriptures. I'm not really so loud about this in my coaching, though I use scriptures for my coaching practice and all of that. But the most powerful tool of transformation, in all honesty, like I said before, it's not even books alone. It's not self-help activities and all of that. The most powerful tool of transformation is the word of God. Because, like I said, you can't know your true intention, your true purpose, without consulting your inventor. It is the inventor that knows what the invention is meant to do. And it is the inventor that gives direction, that gives purpose, that gives clarity to what the inventor is meant to do. So you can't really begin to live as you should if you don't consult the one who created you. So as I began to interact with scriptures more intentionally, it began to wash some things off me. It began to cleanse me of some things. I began to see scripture. I don't know what happened or what led to that, but I just found out that my interaction with scripture shifted, and I began to see scripture in another lens. I began to see myself in scriptures. There's some scriptures you come in contact with that it just hits you, and you will die to timidity. How I became bold was encountering a scripture. You just die to timidity. You will die to fear through scriptures. So that there were some things that used to tie me down before because I didn't have the right knowledge. But I began to really see the true light in scripture. Forget it. I would rather die holding on to scripture than die and hold on to some people's ideologies, trying to maintain and be a good girl, be a good child because I want to please you. No, I rather please God because God's word is the final say. God's word is the truth. We have to live by the truth. So I began to live by the truth of God's word, and that's the second or even the major game changer for me. So those two things was what shifted me forever, and it's still shifting me. Right. So I get insights from scriptures a lot. I convert it into relatable terms in my coaching, and that's it. Thank you so much.
Wow. So there's something that I learned is by the way, just by the way of, but as we're speaking, it just clicked in my head. Have good friends that can pay for course for you. We thank your friend for
And
paying.
those that also recommend courses or recommend teachings.
Yes.
My friends do that a lot. Olamide does that a lot, though she has stopped recently. I'm saying this because she's here. She used to just maybe see a video and say, this is going to... There are people that see certain things online and they feel like you have a connection with this person, or this person sounds like you, or this person, when I saw this person, I was seeing you. Listen to this person. Those things, they boost you. When you listen to them, my God, you just... It washes, not just washes, energizes and strengthens you in who you are meant to be. You feel like, man, this and that dimension I can be. It is inspiring. It's inspiring. Community is very important and very powerful. All right, it's very important. Thank you, mom.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So pay for courses, take courses, even if you cannot afford them at now. Get their other materials. I'm sure they will have videos somewhere. They will have books. They will have, just interact with materials and interact with the word of God above all. Especially in this age, they are free courses, especially in this age and time where you know there's everything is available everywhere. You can take anything everywhere. So please get courses, register for courses, interact with materials, and study your Bible. That is where we get our identity. Like Coach G said earlier while she was speaking, she mentioned how that the invention can only get its identity from the inventor. So God is our own inventor. We have to go back to him as the invention to get our the blueprint of our life, of who we are, of some people will struggle with self-love because they don't even understand that God loves me. They don't understand that God cares about them. So they find that outside of that, and eventually they start making certain mistakes that eventually cost them. So I'm really, really grateful. I feel like asking one more question, but I don't know if I can. Please,
Okay,
since,
shoot.
since there's no question, I'm asking the question on our behalf.
All
I
right.
hope you have our permission. All right, so this is going to be the last question. I'm going to wrap up. Now you know your identity. You you are leading from identity. How do you, okay, someone asked question. How do you bring people into who you can see them as? That's one of the struggles I have experienced so much as a leader. I can see this person as this. There are people who have gotten offended at me that I'm telling them this is who this is your capability. You are not as small as this. You are better. You are bigger than this. So how can I bring them into it? Because I don't know. It is such a struggle. I am being led and I am leading. So it is a two-way thing because I'm sure that my leader too will be looking at me like, this girl, you can do this thing. Why are you not doing it? Now I'm in that position too. How can I, like, is there a rope can tie to people's neck to drag them into what you are saying concerning them? Thank you.
That's such a very powerful question. And I saw that someone commented that that is also a question. Amazing. Why didn't you ask? All right. Um, in all honesty, it is very hard because truthfully speaking, people have been used to for it as someone that is 30 years and I've always seen themselves as small, as low. You can't expect that by telling the person that you are more, person automatically understand it or accepts it. So depending on the level of bí iṣẹ́ ti ṣe bàjẹ́, like bí iṣẹ́ ti ṣe bàjẹ́ tó, bàjẹ́ tí àbí bàjẹ́ tó ló máa determine how far or how fast or slow the transformation is going to be. Another thing is also the willingness of the people. See, one of the ways I even as a coach, I don't stress myself over people is one of the things I check before even accepting somebody or coaching somebody or even with mentorship. You have mentees that though you are mentoring them, but you know that you can't do so much with them or help them so much because they are stubborn, they are not willing and open to learn, they are fixed in their ways. So one of the things I always check, first of all, is the willingness of the person to want to learn, to be open to new knowledge and all of that. If that thing is not there, that teachability is not there, that willingness is not there, you will just struggle and be frustrated. So there are clients that I will, even if you are giving me millions, I won't take you because you don't have that willingness. So you'll be stressing me and I'm telling you to do certain things, giving you some regimentations, you will not do it because you always have excuses. I won't even bother. Give me millions, I won't take. Billions of dollars, I won't take because it's going to frustrate you. That money is a payment for my blood and I don't want to lose my blood. Do you get? I would rather even not start. So those two things, you can't help everybody. That's not the sad truth you must accept as a leader. You cannot help everybody. So these two things you must always check. Before you even start the work of helping somebody out, check. Do they have that hunger? Do they have that, even if they don't know anything, but do they have that hunger? Are they in a posture where, even though I don't know so much, or do I want to learn? Am I willing or open to learn? If it's not there, please forget it. Maybe this is not what you're expecting to hear, but this is what I've learned, I've seen over the years. And I've also seen other leaders say that they've experienced. So that is very, very paramount. Then another thing is, for me personally, one of the things I engage, I tell some people sometimes that the one of the ways I can help people from this dimension, it might not necessarily be from a place of maybe being your friend, your sister, is my coaching dimension. I must understand it. If there's a process to it, I have a framework for it. There was someone that was supposed to coach recently, somebody recommended that to me, blah blah blah. And when I saw the person's story and the person's everything, she wanted to do one off session. And I told her I can't help you by just having one session with you. I will just chop your money and that's it. But the work that you want to see, you will not see it because this thing, there's a time frame and there are activities that have been tested over the years, that have been proven, that have been curated to help you come out of that nonsense and enter into at least open your eyes, because like I said, there's difference between revelation of identity. There's the now process of acceptance. This is our stages. So if you don't understand the stages, so you won't be stressing yourself that, oh, I'm telling this person, the person is not getting it. No, there are stages to this thing. There is time frame depending on the person. There is time frame to it. Some people will get it easily. Some people will accept it easily on time. Some people can take 2 weeks, 1 month, accept it quickly. Some people it is 10 years before they will accept it. Some people it is 5 years. Some people it is 2 years. It differs per person. So there are stages to these things. There are processes, there are frameworks that I have designed that I currently use. So if you come to me as I just want to counsel you, I'll just counsel you generally, but it will not really do the work. There is a framework that has been curated, specifically designed for that. So you can curate a framework, and it includes regimentation to hearing certain kind of things, regimentation to seeing certain kind of things, reading intentionally, confessions intentionally, because that way you are rewiring your mind, you are rewiring your brain. And it takes at least 21 days to break an habit. So if it takes 21 days to break an habit, I don't know how long it takes to break a mindset or to shift a mindset. Like I said, it differs per people. So intentional regimentations, specific regimentations, and fellowship with certain specific resources, materials that communicate, that shows, that expresses who the person is. That's it. So as a coach, that's how I can help. I can't help the person if the person is my friend. I just help general. It's not gonna work. Come on, meet me as a pastor. Oh, because I'm a pastor also. Come on, meet me for counseling. I just counsel and that's it. But there are structures, there are regimentations that somebody must give themselves to intentionally for them to change. There's one that reached out to me in church that is a baby. He wants to. I told her, at least give me 6 months to disciple you, proper discipleship. You will do everything I tell you to do. If you miss one thing, there will be consequences. That's how I can help you. All right. And she said she's willing and ready. I said, okay, that's my calling. I will draft out curriculums for you. Things you'll be listening to. Maybe weekly or bi-weekly tasks you'll be doing. Books you will be reading. And all of that. That's the beginning of the rewiring. Did you get? That's the beginning of the rewiring. So it's a process. There is a framework. And when you don't follow the framework, now die. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have learned now, because the patience to see I don't want to use the term product come to manifestation as you have envisioned can be quite frustrating at times, but then you have to be patient. Leadership takes a lot of patience. And then you mentioned how that there are time frames depending on how deep the issue is. So some people can take a month, some people 5 months, some people 1 year, 5 years, then some people never.
Some people never.
So you have to throw. Some people have to just say, I commend you to God, and say, oh, that was great. At this point, only God can help you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mas. Let's take the last question from Mr. Emmanuel, and then we call it a night. So Mr. Emmanuel, back to you. Please unmute your mic.
Thank you for the teaching. I'm so blessed. I need to ask that how can we, that are followers, all right, maybe in a setting, and we act like this, we are more experienced and we are better than our leader, and we can see like what you mentioned, the deficiencies of a leader. How can we follow and also be of help to the leader, because we can actually see the loopholes, and you don't want to just, some people will just look away, or they just get disinterested in the unit thereabout. So what can we do? What do you think we can do that we're going to be effective, and we are going to also help the unit get better? I don't know if I catch the question properly.
All right, I get your question. So first of all, I would say that units can only get better if that leader gives you the liberty to allow the people to get better. because you can't override the leadership. So that's number one. If they give that latitude, fine. If not, just focus on yourself and keep growing. Then secondly, how to be a blessing to your leader. When we've noticed that there's some loopholes or so in your leader and you want to be of help to them. Number one thing is not every leader might necessarily accept your feedback or your suggestion. You know, I mentioned it that there's some leaders that when you give them suggestions or corrections, it will look like you are attacking them. So, and that's because there is a deficiency somewhere that they've not even seen. And if they've not even seen it, everything they are saying will not make sense to them. Do you get? So that's that foundation about that. But if it's a leader that maybe you is open, please can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. If it is a leader that is flexible, all right, that is flexible, that is approachable, you can talk to, you can just recommend, maybe share, say, sir, please, if you don't mind, I feel there's something. Apostle have shared this story again and again about when he was struggling with something in his life, leadership and all. And one of his mentee did not come and say, sir, you have problem. Oh. And that's it matters how you present what you are saying too. Do you get? No, say, sir, you have problem. Oh. I've been observing you. Ha. That's how these people, they're leaving you because this, that. The person didn't do that. What did the person do? The person got a book that addresses the issue and gave it to him as a gift with a note inside that I think that I feel that you are going through something, but I feel this book is going to be of help to you. And he, because he's open to learning, is humble and flexible. He picked the book, read it, and that shifted it for him at that time. Do you see that? So it find resources that addresses the issue and give it to them as gifts. Pray that they read it or they engage it or they use it. That's how you can help them. You can't force them. You can't be correcting them. That's this is how you're supposed to be doing. And person is your leader. So you have to, understand that. So with wisdom, suggest, the solutions that you feel might work to them. And if they don't accept it, don't feel bad. Don't be angry. All right. That's just them. Just leave them. So that's it.
Thank you so much. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Ensure that the leader is one that accepts feedbacks, will not be angry about feedbacks, and how you present the matter also matters. Thank you so much, Ma, for that. All right, we're wrapping up now, and to wrap this up, I want to open the floor for one person only to just give us just talk to us about something that you are taking away from this meeting. What is that one thing that stood out for you? What are you taking away? So if you have something to say, you can just use the raising up of hand button. This has been a session of so much light, and it's been an amazing time. So if you have something you're taking back, you can just use the raising up of hand button. If there is none, we're going to be wrapping up now. All right, gone. So let me tell you something about leadership. Leadership is the fact that when you are in a meeting, you are not short of words to say, or you are not shy people that when you join a meeting, there are people that will say, hi, my name, good evening everybody, my name is so and so that it's so nice to meet you all. That person has a leadership attribute. When you're in a place, don't quiet your voice. Learn to speak up. That's a sign of leadership. Leaders are forefronters. They're always at the front, ensuring things are happening and taking positions. So I really want to thank you all for joining. The recording for this session will be out this week. If you need it, you can just reach out. If you don't, it's okay. But you should actually reach out for it because there's been so much that has been spoken about, and for those that came late too, so you can grab the things that have been said earlier. You can have context to what has been discussed today. So I want to thank you for being a part of this conversation. As you go, don't let it just stop at what has been said. But I want us to reflect on who we are becoming. Now I want you to sit down, take some moments off social media and reflect. As leaders, you're supposed to have times of reflection. That's how you even strengthen your identity. Take some moment to reflect. How has my identity, how has my self-perception affected my leadership currently? Because I'm sure every one of us here is leading in one way or the other. How has my self-perception affected the way I am leading? Introspect, sit down, think, and allow yourself go through that process of healing. Go through that journey of healing. I'm telling you, that is the best thing you can ever give to yourself first and to your generation. Like Coach D said, it is the people who are old that we produce a healed environment, a healed society, a healed organization. So as you go, please kindly take some moment to reflect. Because at the end of the day, our leadership is not just something that you can switch on and you switch on. It is an overflow. So when your identity, I can see your hands, Mr. Emmanuel, when your identity is clear, the leadership will become not just intentional but also confident, and then you can now raise people that are confident. So let's just lead from the right place, and it starts from you. It starts from you. So the moment you can lead from, you are sure about who you are, then leadership will not become a struggle anymore. So once again, I want to thank us so much for joining this conversation. Let's have Mr. Emmanuel quickly, as so we can. Mr. Emmanuel,
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. All right, this is Pastor Debbie. All right. This question just came to my mind just now. How do you deal with people that identify with you but don't want to identify with you in public? Yeah, people that they follow you but they don't identify with you, and like whenever they just like your vibes, they're about, but whenever you call for maybe a duty, like call for something like a family, they're about like even your content, your stuff, they don't engage with it, and they claim to be following you to be one with you, but they're not identifying with you publicly. They don't want to really show that they're for you. How do you do that kind of people? But they want to keep following you, they want to keep getting your benefits, but don't want to identify with you. They don't want to that's the main word. They don't want to identify with you. How do you handle those set of followers? Thank you so much, ma.
I think you already mentioned it. It's about understanding their context and relating with them based on their context. When Nicodemus came to Jesus, he didn't come in the day, he came in the night. And that's because maybe he didn't want his sex to see that, one of our members have already gone to meet Jesus. So I'm very sure that there are many other people that Jesus had a relationship with that were not necessarily pronounced. And I'm sure that was written for our learning for a reason. Do you see that? So of course there are many people that follow people that you might not even really know. Of course, always say that people that are following politicians and all of that you don't even have any idea about. But because of the peculiarity of maybe their position and other things. And even for the sake of the mind of some people, because when you post that, I have relationship with these people, you begin to receive all sorts of things in your DM and all of that. So I think understanding the context of the person is important in how you deal with them and how you relate with them. I have a mentorship platform, but the truth is not everybody I'm leading is necessarily on my mentorship platform. All right. And I'm still, and I know the time is going to come that may not even really work for me. I might still have it, but it's for certain kind of people. There's some kind of, as you go higher, kind of relationships that might not be generally public. Do you see that? So the major thing to check out for is, do they support? Are they just following for following sake, or just to, some people are just following because they want to be in your good book. not because they really honor you, they really respect you. So people are following because they want to use you. So these are some of the realities of leadership, right? People follow you for different reasons, and you have to be okay with it. All right, don't kill yourself and be frustrated and angry because of it. Just understand people's context and deal with them based on their context. Do you see that? So if there are people that maybe they're not learning, oh, kí n gbọ́ràn, etí wọn di, they, for instance, we still have an issue that we're dealing like that. Someone that wants to be Oga, like be around, I'm behaving like I'm the past, I'm your protocol, I'm your bodyguard. But this person does not submit, does not listen, is never around, does not take to correction. He's not even available to even know anything. Just wants to put an appearance that, hey, I'm connected to this person. Do you get? So you have to find a way to cut those people. Have a way to cut them. So I say you must understand their context and why they are following. That will determine how you even relate with them. That's the first thing. So I think that's that. So but understand that not everybody that will follow you will necessarily be, you get what I'm saying. So you must understand their context and see their acts. That's what really matters. And be okay too. Not everybody that follows your mentee, you want to be posting now. Yes, this is my mentee. You must be okay with having powerful people being around you without you being loud or noisy about them. That's why you yourself must have your identity, you must be rooted in your identity. So you not be taking validation when some powerful people begin to submit to you and begin to come around you. I want them to come for meeting and sit down and preaching. Sit down. Some people will not be able to because of the nature of what they are doing. And because of what they're doing does not just really permit it. Though, but they listen to you, they seek counsel, they are accountable. They are accountable. They seek counsel. They listen. Do you get? Like Nicodemus, he listened to Jesus. After Jesus talked to him, he didn't say, he gave his life to Christ. He was saved, he became Jesus, he was converted. Right? So there will be people like that. So I must understand them and relate with them based on that. I believe that's very clear. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking to us. Our mind, I'm sure that every one of us here is living with one thing or the other that they've taken from this meeting. This meeting is under the umbrella of Born to Lead movement, an organization that is meant to equip young leaders to with the understanding that there is a leader inside of you. And so in every sphere, in every sector you find yourself, you are not a background personnel. You are at the forefront leading, you are shaping the culture, you are shaping the systems of the sector and the sphere that you find yourself. And this is just one of the meetings out of many that we're going to be having. So please look forward to more meetings like this. I'm sure that you've learned something today. Thank you so much once again for joining. Such a privilege to have every one of us here. So I look forward to seeing you in the next meeting. Please do have a lovely, lovely night ahead. And do not forget to reflect. Bye. We can all exit now. Thank you.